Welcome to the channel, my name is Grizzy, and today we have a brand new Apex Legends video. Season 13 is finally here, and with the new update to the season, we have an entirely different Legend meta. With these changes, everyone is hyped about the updated and best new Legend in the game, and that Legend is, of course, Rampart. I know, I'm sorry Newcastle, you're gonna have to take a back seat for this one. Rampart received several crazy good buffs for Season 13, so this video is going to completely walk you through a guide that is going to have you dominating with Rampart in no time. If you're interested in learning any other legends, I have several other Ultimate Legend guides that you guys can check out in the description. With that being said, let's hop right into the Ultimate Rampart guide for Apex Legends. So you might ask yourself, what makes Rampart so much better in Season 13 versus other previous seasons? Well, at the start of Season 13, they buffed her ultimate where Sheila now only takes 1.25 seconds to spin up and to start shooting, and then formerly this was 1.75 seconds. They also buffed her amped cover by giving it 120 HP versus the previous 45 when it was building. The amped cover now only takes 3.6 seconds to deploy versus the previous 4.25. In addition to these crazy good buffs to her kit, the Spitfire is on the ground as well, and the Apex devs did a poor job with the nerf of the Spitfire from the care package to ground loot because this weapon is absolutely busted and just so good. And Rampart also gets their modded loader passive, which allows her to have a faster reload time and increased ammo capacity in any LMG that she's carrying. Now let's get into breaking down Rampart as a legend and give you tips to be more successful with her in your games. First and foremost, Rampart excels at mid-range fights. Her tactical can be useful in close range engagements. However, most of the time you're gonna want to plan out amped walls prior to a fight versus spamming them down close range during the middle of a fight. This means that your weapon and shooting at the enemy always takes priority over wall placement. Don't be afraid to start off fights without amped walls and pressure enemies to heal, and then you can move in and gain a good position and put up amped walls to trap them and have angles with increased damage on them. My next tip for Rampart is you're obviously going to have fortified areas or a base to fall back to. Playing Rampart is like playing Fortnite in Apex. You're going to have a fortress, but anyway, plan an escape and don't barricade yourself in one location or you won't be able to escape. Also, don't be afraid to leave your fortified area. Now let's break down her abilities with tips for each specific ability. We've already previously touched on her passive modded loader, which increases magazine capacity of LMGs and gives her the ability to have faster reloads with LMGs and her minigun. But let's get into Rampart's tactical ability. She builds a small barrier. The cooldown for her walls is 20 seconds, and the amped barrier above the wall blocks incoming shots and increases the damage of outgoing shots by 20%. When playing Rampart, place down cover as a distraction because they draw fire and attention from your enemies. For example, if an enemy is holding a certain angle, you can build cover on one side and they will anticipate you to take that angle. And then you can catch them off guard by pushing from the other side. Or you can place down cover and shoot from another location to allow your cover to completely be built. It is also important to place your cover in staggered positions behind one another. If you shoot through your cover and it hits another amped wall, then that wall will be damaged. So in order to have the max amount of protection, you can stagger your walls like this to allow you to put out damage and give you cover and lots of protection. If you want, you can also double stack your cover if you're fighting. That way, if an enemy destroys the front cover, your second cover should be built and should be ready to use and fire from. If you feel like you are receiving help from this video, I do want to point you in another direction as well. After this video, check out Blazing Boost. This is a website that focuses on services for busy gamers such as you guys, and they have customizable Play with Pro services to help you guys learn from a coach and to get better step by step. You know, they could even help you with certain legends. They have over 23,000 5-star reviews on their Trustpilot. You can check it out yourself, and you can also use my discount code GRIZZY5 for a 5% discount on any service you like. Now let's get right back into these Rampart tips. Now that Rampart walls build faster, utilize these to block arc stars and grenades to protect you and your teammates. One of the most effective ways to play Rampart is her ability to control the pace of battle indoors and in areas with doorways. Deploy amped cover in a doorway to help fortify an indoor location or protect yourself while pushing towards an indoor enemy. You can retrieve the cover with a single tap and immediately pass through it, giving you the power to control the engagement. Just press down on the D-pad on a controller in order to remove your cover. If you have an enemy trapped behind a doorway, you can jump and kick doors in order to have protection once the door is kicked down. Then you can remove your cover freely and push that enemy. Obviously, place walls to block doors to make people have to choose their point of entry. Are they going to toss a grenade, kick down the door? Do they have to go to another entrance? The ability to block doors lets you isolate fights and control the flow of the fight. There's also a technique where you can wedge the door. Do this door wedge technique that the gaming merchant showed on his channel. This will allow you to block a door and cover another entrance with a single wall so you can heal and hold an area defensively. Another small tip is if you and your enemy are both using your own cover, you can always pick up that wall. That way you remove their cover. Also, if you're trying to get away, you can run and quickly turn around and slide for wall placement. Another fancy tip is also to super glide off of Rampart walls. I do have a complete super glide video. If you guys want to check that out, I'll leave that down in the description. All you have to do is mantle the wall. Once you get to the top of the wall, hold down, jump, and crouch at the exact same time. You have to time it at the exact perfect frame, and you'll get increased speed and mobility towards your enemies. Now, while up to 5 amped covers can be in play per time with Rampart, you can only hold a max of 3 charges at a time. Undamaged cover can be picked up to restore a charge. The top and bottom halves of the amp cover have different health pools. The top has 175 health and the bottom has 400. If you have 5 walls down, the next wall will replace the first wall you put down. So if you have 5 placed and you notice someone is using your wall against you, you can place another wall or 2 down and it will replace the current one they're trying to use against you. So that's just a heads up tip. Now lastly, we have Rampart's ultimate ability where she uses that minigun Sheila, and now she can use it and walk around and push enemies, and this is really powerful in Season 13. Sheila comes with 1 magazine of 173 bullets while she's moving around. Once they're gone, you can either place the turret or put it away. She can also convert any remaining bullets she doesn't intend to use into an ultimate charge depending on how much ammo is left. Now with this ability, you want to be mobile. Rampart is now able to run around with the Sheila. She will slow to a walk while she's shooting the weapon, so you do become a very easy target to hit. So make sure you use it in advantageous positions and try to shoot at enemies that are distracted when you're using this weapon. This weapon is also exceptional at providing cover fire. Since you can move around now, you aren't locked into one position. If your team needs to take space, fire Sheila towards enemies so your teammates can push aggressively. The minigun deals very high DPS, particularly when shot through amped cover. You should always place amped cover anyway when using Sheila, because otherwise you'll be stationary and vulnerable if you do have it in that stationary mode. Now just remember, if your ultimate is low on ammo, make sure to place it down on the ground so that you can get your cooldown going for another mobile Sheila. Now remember, the ultimate will immediately blow open doors, so utilize that to blow through doors and to fight enemies. Try to get the ultimate to spin up and kind of allow enemies to close in on you a little bit versus you forcing the push. If you force the push, you'll be a lot more vulnerable than if they kind of push in around a corner and then you catch them off guard. Basically, use this as a third weapon in your loadout. Use it, put it away, heal up, maybe loot a box, then use it again. Place it down when you're low on ammo, and once you mount it, you actually won't have to reload. So you could use it to wipe a squad, place it down, and then have immediate use out of it if somebody's trying to third party you right after that fight. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed and learned a lot from this guide. Are you maining Rampart this season? How do you like her change in Season 13? And guys, thanks again so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm Grizzy, and I'm out. Peace.